Jerome JT62 back with you. In this one, we're going to look at my dust collection cart. Pretty simple thing. If it's something you're interested in, come right up. So here's the dust collection system next to the CNC router. That's a reason why this is, I believe, 36 inches, maybe 40, somewhere around there. But I want this vortex at the top of the machine. My vacuum hose I got to figure out how I'm going to connect that, but I want it pretty much level with this machine. Basically, I built this cart for this machine. I mean, you could use it for your floor or whatever, but I designed it and made it for this machine. So let me move this out into the center of the garage here. We'll go over it. It's pretty simple construction. We'll talk a little bit more about this dust collector, or this vortex here. Just reiterate the few of the things that I talked about in my other video of actually mounting this. I did do a few other things, such as I decided to put a 7-gallon bucket on there, move away from the 5. Not sure if it's going to make that much of a difference, but let me go ahead and move this and we'll talk about it. So I got the cart moved out. It's a pretty simple thing. This is, I believe, 22 by 22 square, top and bottom. And then just went up with 3/4 by 12-inch pine, and then just put faces around this melamine. It likes to chip on the edges if you don't do something with that. And not only that, but it provided more stability for this top, and also the bottom section. Made this a little bit bigger in case I wanted to run a larger vacuum. Probably wondering why I'm running this smaller rigid here. And for some reason, all the stupid building codes in California here. I live in Santa Rosa. We did have that firestorm come through here, and we had to evacuate, and luckily we were spared here. We got real close, but good to go. But at any rate, they decided to make a code where you have to have GFCI sockets in the garage. Makes no sense to me whatsoever, but I'm not going to change those out. If something happens and I did have a short, you can bet the insurance companies are going to be looking to see if something went wrong, especially if it started in this garage, and the first thing they're going to say is, where are the GFCI sockets? You took them out. So there's an issue with running the CNC machine, an air compressor and a vacuum on those. It overloads the circuit. They're all tied together. So 30 amps, and that's just not going to get it. So the smaller vacuum actually performs very well. I'm going to show you a little demo on that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But at any rate, I already went over the vortex. This is that Chinese thing with a $sign on it. I originally had that mounted on this 5-gallon bucket here. I decided to go to a, you say 6.5, but I'm calling this a 7-gallon bucket. These things are freaking expensive. I couldn't believe it. They're like $13. By the time you get it shipped, they're 40 bucks. 40 freaking dollars for this bucket. But it's $40 for the screw off lid type. And like I said, I want something that is easily removable, and I'm doing this one-handed. You see that? Comes right off. Locks on, latches in, and it actually has a rubber seal on the inside of that lid, so I believe it's going to do a better job than this one right here as far as sealing. I did end up reusing this this ring, which really wasn't needed, but I wanted some additional stability for this vortex. I don't want to put a bunch of lateral play on this thing, make it crack. I don't know if it's gonna crack. I don't know. So I went ahead and used that ring, which really wasn't needed, but it did seem to stabilize that up a bit. Also, these are the reducers for the hose. This one is mainly going to be used for the CNC. So it can go up at an angle like that, and then the hose is going to go up towards the ceiling, or you could turn it wherever you want. If I'm vacuuming around on the floor or something like that, then I'll use that straight one. I'm going to put the hose on here. We'll do a little test on this just so you can see the performance. I think it's going to be enough for what I need with this vacuum here. If not, then it's going to, I could go to the larger 5 horsepower, but like I said, the sockets in here are going to pose an issue. So, you know, big dust collection system in this garage as it sits and the way it's wired is not going to work. So let me go ahead and hook the hoses up to show you what that looks like. And then we'll do a little test on it. I went ahead and connected the hoses. I went with that 90. It seems to take a little bit of load off of this. Kind of balances out with the vacuum side coming over, and this side. What I'm really thinking about doing is putting a frame from here over to the top, over the top of this, to stabilize that and keep it from moving. So if I do that, I'll just shoot a short little update video of what it looks like, but I already have in my mind what I want to do. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn this on. Got a nice little pile of stuff here. Got paper and wood and plastic and everything else from the CNC, so hopefully the vacuum won't be too loud on this. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So there you go. Some people have said that larger particles seem to spin around up here. I have had that. Seems like the more you put through it and the faster it goes through, the less chance you don't see that up here. But with that small vacuum, you saw that big pile and how fast it picked it up. So I believe this is going to be plenty for me. So there'll probably be a few chips in the vacuum. There always are. I can open that up and show you, but you know, you've seen it a million times on the video, on other videos other than mine, but that's the performance of that small vacuum. more than enough for what I need. Through a 14-foot hose on that machine was all I need. Plus, you can even vacuum the floor with it if you'd like. So let me go ahead and open the vacuum up for you. We'll go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll call this done. So there you go. This bucket was a little dusty. I mean, some things do get through here, but it's nothing like what you would expect if you're just going straight with a hose. Piece of cellophane got through there, but I think it's doing its job. The rest is in here. Yeah, probably come up to about right about there. So I'm happy with it. We'll see how the stability and the strength of this is, but other than that, we're gonna call this one done. Once again, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer as best I can. And we'll call this done. Thanks for watching.